Before we get into the video, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button where you can find loads more content all about hikes and accommodation and other things all in the US and Canada's national parks. Also, don't forget that if there is a video that you like in particular, to hit the like button on the video and comment below.
Sunrise in the rear view, it's crisp up ahead. I never thought we'd be back, but it's...
Now, although I have found the accommodation at Curry Village on booking.com, I find National Park Reservations the best site to use. You go down and find Yosemite, and then you can view all of the accommodation types in Yosemite National Park. And just outside as well. Now you can see Curry Village is number 3 on the list. So you basically click that, and then you can view all of the facilities, the little extras, things available on the page itself. You can also compare prices to some of the other accommodations in the park, but we're going to stick with this one. So let's pick a date really far out in the future, because you need to book these things way up in advance, and the off season in winter is when it's more readily available. So you pick your dates, you put in how many nights you want to stay, how many rooms you need, how many people in your party, and remember you need to put 0 children if you're not taking children. You can't just leave it blank. And then you get a bit more information about the different accommodation types within that area. So we've got lots of different types because they do have cabins, but we're going to select a canvas tent. So you can see that there's heated and non-heated. Obviously heated is a little bit more, and that does include electrical outlets as well. But I'm going to stick for now with the unheated one. So pop in there 1. And then total beds 1, so obviously you'd pick 2 if you need a bigger one for your children. And then I put not heated, please, and go to the next step. At this point, you'll put in all of your personal details and then your payment details on the next screen. And if it's available, you'll get an email back offering you the chance to check out.
Sunsets on the summer, skies gold with you.
So the check-in is conducted right here at the front office in this gorgeous building. The staff are really helpful. They'll give you the key to your room. They just verify some ID, there's no deposit, and they'll give you a map showing you where your tent is. And you can find these signs all throughout the site, which will tell you where the nearest toilets are, the shower house, trailheads, and of course those tent numbers to help you find where you're going to be staying for the night as well. So this was the one I was allocated, 709. So right outside, you can see a really clear number on the door, and you can also see how close together they are. They're pretty close together, some more so than others. So right outside, you have your own personal bear box. Now you can pop a padlock in the silver section that is in the middle between the two, and you open and close it by pushing a handle just underneath. In here there's plenty of space. In the summer, of course, it's going to get quite warm, but it's perfect for storing your things. And just remember, the padlock for the front door can only be used for the front door. So your key is going to unlock this padlock, and then you'll be able to pull open the door to get inside of your tent. So as you can see, it's really spacious. There's quite a lot of room, especially if it's just 1 or 2 of you, even with hiking gear. Now, even in the non-heated tents, you do have this lamp with a pull string that comes down over the bed, and you can turn that on and off to get light as needed in the tent itself. There's no other outlets though, so you'd need to go into the heated option, which would come with an outlet for you to use if you want to like charge your phones and things. So initially the bed has a light sheet and a sleeping blanket, sleeping bag style blanket on top, but you make that part yourself. It's just got the sheets and the pillowcases on, but they do provide some heavy duty blankets as well. You've got a stool, you've got a bin, so with the bin you've got a recycling option and then a regular option. There is a safe, but it's not activated, so you can't actually use it, which is a bit useless. There's a little bit of reading material, and there are 2 very small towels as well. You've got some coat hooks, which are great for hanging things up, especially if things have got a little bit damp and you're trying to dry them off. The towels are really rough, so I'd be cautious about using those. And the heavy duty blankets look like they've also seen better days. They're pretty dusty and heavy, but if it's cold, you'll be grateful for anything that you can put on top of that to give you that extra bit of warmth. Now, dotted around the frame of the tent, there are more of these hooks, which are just really handy for hanging up even your backpack, just to keep things off the floor. And there's this random little cubby hole, which you can use as a little shelf to store anything, again, if you want to have things off the floor. There's a lot of information inside, and then we'll tell you about this as well, about deer mice and the diseases they carry, as well as black bears, which are active year-round in Yosemite. So you've got to be really careful not to bring anything inside the tent that's going to cause pest problems with the wildlife, or you could get in big trouble. So on the back of the door, there is actually this camp rules statement thing, which you can also find online. This just goes into more detail basically about quiet hours, smoking, cooking in your tent. Now, the location is great for Curry Village for getting around, and the best thing about it is you can park up the car for your entire stay. You get given a parking permit to park overnight, and then you can use the shuttle bus. So the green bus goes the entire loop of the valley, and the purple bus is the east side, which will take you to like Mirror Lakes, Happy Hours, that kind of thing. And there are two stops, a westbound and an eastbound, from right outside of the Curry Village. I think it's stop 14 and 19. In terms of the shower blocks, they're really well kept, really well maintained. You can see the cleaning hours advertised on the outside, and there are some bins dotted around as well where you can keep your, you can throw your wet and dirty towels in. On top of the doors here, you have a PIN code. So you'll be given a 4-digit PIN code when you check in, and you press enter, and it's normally the same code for both the shower and the toilet. Now, I filmed this because nobody else was in there at the time. In the shower room, you have these basins, which are pretty deep, and you've got hot and cold water coming from there. There's also hand soap as well that you can use, and there are outlets on the wall, which are really handy if you need to charge a toothbrush or anything like that as well. There's dryers for drying your hands, as well as paper towels, and they seem to be very well maintained and stocked while I was in there. Now, behind individual cubicle doors, I think I counted 6 in this room. You'll find a small changing area, and then behind a curtain there is a shower. They provide conditioning shampoo and shower gel. I bought my own bar of soap from the shop just as an extra, and they worked pretty well. Water pressure was decent, and it was hot water. If anyone in your party is handicapped, a really good thing as well is there is a ramp to access the shower blocks, so you don't have to go up the steps. You can use the ramp to get wheelchairs up onto the surfaces. Now, you walk around on these windy paths that go around the trees, and you've got this amazing pizza deck at the main building, which is so good. There's lots of outside seating as well, and they're open till 8:30, even in the off season, so really good pizza in there. There's also a bar called the 1889, where you can get yourself some alcohol or any other kind of drinks that you might fancy. And there's this really cool like lounge area where there's some board games and Wi-Fi and charging ports as well. Inside, there's the main restaurant, which is cafeteria style, where you pick what you want to eat. They do breakfast. There's beverage stations. You can get hot water, loads of seating, and a really nice fireplace as well. So there's lots of options for you to have some hot food and to just get out from your tent and just enjoy the facilities as well. There's also a coffee shop just down there. And here you'll find some nice, well-maintained gents and ladies toilets as well. Okay guys, so this is my review on the non-heated canvas tent at Curry Village. In terms of price, I would say it was on the expensive side for what it is. It's literally a canvas tent with a frame. But you do get a bed within it, which you wouldn't get if you were, tent camping in your own tent, because unless you've got a massive tent, you're not going to fit a whole bed in there. But I paid $159 just for that, plus tax, obviously. And then there was this like $10 charge that parkreservations.com charged me as well, which made it quite expensive for what it was. So I would say it's definitely overpriced. In terms of the facilities, I think the showers are kept really, really well, as are the toilets. I think it's really well located. I think you stay in a very good location. You've got a gift shop. You've got like a backpackers, climbers shop that sells like proper outdoor gear as well. You've got the cafeteria, the pizza deck, the bar, the coffee shop. You've got the guest lounge, which is basically like a wooden building where there's like some sofas, games inside, there's Wi-Fi outlets, that kind of thing. And the staff were really helpful and really friendly. You've also got the shuttle bus that takes you wherever you need to go within the park. So for that reason alone, that side of it's definitely worth it. But I just think for a non-heated tent, I don't think it should be more than $100, but it is. So I can't change the price. I'm just giving you my my view. I have previously stayed in a heated one, which was in late November in like 2019. And that was because it was cold and I didn't want to camp. This time I would have camped if I could have got a reservation, but this was the only way that I could get a reservation, because I couldn't book to camp. So I think in summary, if you're stuck with options, then it's definitely an option, and it's a very good location to spend time within Yosemite. But if you're looking for more of a vacation experience where you're going to want to use the facilities a little bit more, I would say that you could probably stay in the Cedar Lodge outside of the park, which is literally just outside of the park, or you could just stay at another lodging option. It's not that cheap. That makes it worth it, unless you are literally looking for that camping experience without bringing your own gear, in which case I would recommend it. So to give it a score out of 10, price, I would score it 4 out of 10. Facilities, I would score it 7 out of 10. And overall experience in Yosemite, I would probably give it 7 out of 10. So I know that's like the most mixed review I could probably give it, which is exactly how I feel about it actually. I have a mixed view of it. It's cost effective compared to staying at the Awani, but it's not that great for what you're actually paying. And I think that's the only way I can sum it up really. But let me know what you think. Have you stayed? Do you think that my review's fair? Have you got any questions about it? Because there's definitely going to be stuff that I didn't cover in this video. So please comment below. I do check regularly, and of course I'll reply back to any questions you may have. Once again, little plea from me, if you could subscribe, I'd really appreciate it, and also like the video as well. This video has loads of content from especially Yosemite, but also loads of other national parks across the world as well. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys again soon.
I'll never forget